you ever had this moment? You are just staring at a text on your phone and you're staring at it for the third time already. Your fingers are just hovering above your keyboard, right? And you're just thinking, just hit send, just hit send. It's just like a simple message, right? You're following up with a trainer about a lesson. It's nothing dramatic, it's nothing life or death, but your stomach is just clenched in a knot. Like when your shoelace is so tangled and you can't get it unstuck and you're sticking the fork in there to undo your shoelace. You're just thinking, what if they think I'm annoying? What if they're too busy? Maybe I should just wait. And then you just close the app or you tell yourself you'll do it later. And you don't realize it, but this isn't just about a text, right? It's not following up with, hey, can I take a lesson? This is a pattern. It's hesitation. It's holding back. It's avoiding. And this shows up in the saddle too. Welcome to the Resilient Reiner, the premier podcast focused on mental performance for equestrians and improved horse show performance. Whether you're a rookie reiner or a seasoned competitor, this show is for riders who want to take their skills to the next level and achieve their full potential in the show ring. I'm Nicole Burnett, and I'm a master mindset coach who's obsessed with helping you achieve all those horse dreams you always thought were impossible. Join me each week to develop a show-ready mindset and gain the competitive edge you need to compete with confidence. Welcome back to the Resilient Reiner podcast. I'm your host, Nicole Burnett. And okay, this is Tuesday, February 18th, when this is going out. So that means if you're listening to this podcast tomorrow, which would be Wednesday, February 19th, I am hosting a live, but invite only, so you have to have the link, mental masterclass for riders. And I'm so excited for this masterclass because I've been working hard on this behind the scenes when I'm not coaching or working on the podcast. And what I'm doing is I am going to show you how to train your mind like you train your horse. I'm breaking down my proven 4-step mental framework, this process, so that you can see exactly what we do and how you can apply it. And it's going to be so awesome. I'm going to show you common mistakes that I see all the time and how to fix them. And yeah, I'm so excited. It's going to be such a good time. And if you can't make it live, make sure you sign up, NicoleBurnettCoaching.com/RLAP for Ride Like a Pro, so that you can get access to the replay. I'll probably have the replay up for like a week. So make sure you sign up for that. It's going to be so good. I'm so excited. I love it. Okay, let's get into today's podcast. Now, you know those moments when you know what you need to do in the saddle, right? You're like, okay, I'm going to spin. I'm going to lay the rein across the neck first before I think about applying my leg. But for some reason, you just don't do it. Maybe you hesitate to push for more in a run, or you avoid working on a tough maneuver, or you feel frozen when it comes to making decisions about your training, about your competition plans. This is not a lack of discipline. A lot of people get this confused. This is your subconscious mind at work. Your mind controls more of your riding than you realize. When your brain perceives a threat, whether it's fear of failure, it could be fear of being judged, or even fear of success, it triggers your nervous system's stress response. So, when people talk about fight, flight, freeze, appease, that kind of stuff. So this is why you might feel tense, right? You get really tense in your body in a big run, or you feel doubt creeping in before you enter the pen, or why you might feel frozen and start overthinking instead of trusting your training. And over time, this chronic stress in your body, it holds you back from riding at your best. So what's really happening? So, a subconscious block, what is it? This is a hidden belief or a fear that prevents action or success. It forms through past experiences, conditioning, self doubt, all this stuff in the background that's shaping your thoughts, your emotions, and your behaviors without you realizing it. So, how do you know if one is holding you back? And when it comes to riding, these blocks can and will quietly sabotage your confidence, your progress, and your performance. So, I'm going to go through some of the biggest subconscious blocks that I see in riders. So, the first one, perfectionism, straight up. Okay. So, here's an example. What does this look like? You're a rainer preparing to show, and what you're doing is you spend your rides over analyzing every mistake. You're obsessing over every transition. You're feeling frustrated because your horse isn't perfect, quote, quote. You spend hours perfecting your spins, but they're never fast enough. The shutoff is never crisp enough. You hesitate to do an entry fee at a show because you don't feel ready. So, why does this happen? Well, you might fear being criticized by your trainer, by other trainers, by judges. You might be afraid of being criticized by your peers. So, you delay entering the show to avoid criticism. Another one, procrastination. This is a really an oldie but a goodie, right? So, here's an example. You keep putting off practicing your extended lope. Instead, you distract yourself with busy work like endlessly cleaning tack or reorganizing your trailer. All of a sudden, that seems really important to do. It feels scary, it feels uncomfortable, it's overwhelming to try and improve that maneuver, the extended lope. Why does this happen? So, a subconscious fear of failure, it's making you delay action. If you don't try, well, you can't fail. So, your brain protects you by keeping you stuck. Thanks, brain. Because that's again the thing to remember. Your brain is not designed for peak performance. Your brain is designed to keep you safe and alive. Okay, here's another one that I see all the time when people come to work with me: inconsistent action. So you set big goals and make a plan. But when it comes to following through, you start skipping rides, making excuses, or losing motivation. So if you struggle with motivation, oh, this is tied up in there. Your progress can feel off and on rather than steady. So why does this happen? A deep-seated belief that you're not truly capable of reaching your goal, it leads to self-sabotage. You may unconsciously hold yourself back to avoid disappointment. So again, if you ever have issues with inconsistent action, you're like, why aren't I writing more? Why am I not doing this? Why am I struggling with motivation? Check in on this. All right, here's another one that really it tends to really shock my clients, but these next two are very real. Fear of failure. You want to step up to the next level, but you hesitate to sign up for a clinic. You hesitate to enter at that new division or ride in front of others. The thought of messing up or not performing well, it makes you sweat through your shirt. Why does this happen? So there's a subconscious fear of looking bad or feeling judged. It makes you hesitate. Your brain perceives failure as a threat, and we don't want that. Brain does not want threats, so it triggers avoidance. And then this one always catches people by surprise, and it's the fear of success. So here's an example. You're starting to ride better and you're starting to get recognition. You're starting to place better, get higher scores. But instead of embracing it, you feel uneasy. You doubt whether you can maintain at that level. And you find yourself pulling back just as things are going well. You can dismiss your wins as flukes and feel overwhelmed at bigger shows. This happens because success often comes with more pressure, with more expectations, with a fear of outgrowing your current circle. The subconscious fear of change and success can hold you back from stepping into your full potential. And there's more. I made a whole list. So I just have the list and then I'm going to talk about each one because I see so many. Okay. The next one, indecision. Indecision is a massive subconscious block. Here's an example. You struggle to choose a trainer, you struggle to commit to a show schedule, or even which bit to use, right? That one comes up all the time. Oh my gosh, which bit do I need to use at home? Should I change it? Should I change it for the show? You research endlessly, asking for advice, second guessing every decision, and this leads to paralysis instead of progress. Why does this happen? When you fear making the wrong choice, it keeps you in limbo because if you haven't made that decision, right, you haven't committed to what could be the wrong choice. Your brain is trying to tell you that it's safer to stay stuck than risk regret. Oh, brain, just trying to do its job. Here's one that is kind of a sneaky one that a lot of people don't see coming. Or I should say, it's one that I can call out when I see people doing this, believing this, behaving in this way, but people usually miss this one. And this block is resentment toward training. What does that mean? Here's an example. So you love riding. Obviously, you're in the horse world. You love your ponies. You love your horses. You love riding. But sometimes you resent the effort it takes. You feel frustrated when things don't go smoothly, or you feel annoyed at having to repeat the same drills. Because we all know that we're doing the same stuff at every level, just at varying levels of competency, right? So, why it happens? Deep down, you might associate hard work with struggle or burnout. A subconscious belief that riding should be fun and all the time, but always, it should always be fun. It should always be effortless, can make structured training feel like a chore. And so that one's a very sneaky one that it's just really good to be aware of because that'll really undermine you if you aren't aware of that going in your background. Here's a big one that impacts you if you are a competitive rider, but also surprisingly when you're at home because there's times when you're riding in front of other people. If you ride at a boarding barn, if you ride at a public arena, if you're riding with a friend. And this one is the fear of being seen. So, an example for you. You hesitate to ride in the warm-up pen, or you hesitate to post videos of your rides. You feel uncomfortable with people watching, with people critiquing, and you critique yourself more when riding in front of others. Why does this happen? There's a subconscious fear of judgment, fear of criticism that makes you want to stay invisible to avoid negative feedback. Again, your brain is braining hard and it wants to keep you safe. Your brain is not trying to push you out there to be the most amazingest rider. It's like, oh, this is scary. This is dangerous. Nope, we don't want to go there. Thank you, brain. Now, here's another one. And I think we can all relate to this one. And this surprisingly, this is a subconscious writing block, and this is overwhelm. So here's an example. You have so many things to work on, right? You have position of your body, timing, your mindset work, show prep, washing that old blanket. There's so much to do and so many things to work on in the saddle, out of the saddle, farm chores. It feels impossible to focus. Instead of making progress, you feel mentally exhausted and you feel stuck. Why it happens? Overwhelm is often a response to fear of failure or a lack of clarity. Your brain just shuts down instead of tackling one thing at a time. Here's another one that I think also affects just about everybody. And if you think pros are exempt for this, you are sorely, I don't know, sorely disappointed, but you're wrong. I have worked with pros on specifically self-doubt and negative self-talk before. So this is the subconscious writing block, negative self-talk. So here's some examples. Before a ride, you think, oh, I'm just not good enough for this. What if I mess up? I'll probably fail. And this is exactly also if you explicitly with negative self-talk, I go super deep into this in my program, Resilient Rainer Academy, which is all about developing your own unshakable confidence as a rider. So you can check that out. You can always send me a message about it too, and I will send you details about it. Now, why does negative self-talk happen? These thoughts come from subconscious beliefs that are shaped by past experiences, from pressure, or just self doubt. And over time, this creates a mental pattern that limits your confidence and performance. Okay, we're going to review all of these subconscious writing blocks. And again, these are so important to realize and to identify when you have one of these, because these are very real reasons why your progress is stop and go instead of making steady progress. You're running into some kind of a block. So we had perfectionism, procrastination, fear of failure, fear of success, indecision, resentment towards training, a fear of being seen, overwhelm, negative self-talk, and whew. So these are all big ones. Like I said, from working with my clients, these are massive like subconscious blocks that I see show up over and over that really stop people from making steady progress in their writing and training. And the good thing about all of this is that these blocks are not permanent, okay? I know that it feels, you're hearing the examples, you're hearing about why it happens, and you're like, yeah, oh my gosh, I do get overwhelmed at all the things that I need. How are we going to be ready for that horse show? This isn't permanent because the moment that you recognize them, you can start rewiring your mindset. You can start shifting your patterns. You can start writing with more confidence, clarity, and success. Because again, all of this mindset work is so important so that you can line up your thoughts, your behaviors, and your actions to get you the best results ever and have more fun along the way. Now, if any of this resonated with you, I'm hosting a free live masterclass where I'm going to show you exactly how to train your mind like you train your horse so that you can break free from subconscious blocks, ride with confidence, and step into the success you deserve. Just check out the link in the show notes and you can sign up and come join us. It's such a good time. I love putting these free trainings together. I put a lot of effort into putting together something that is going to provide a ton of value for you. And I love doing it and connecting with all of you fabulous Resilient Rainer listeners. And just know that you are not alone in this. Every rider faces these mental barriers at some point. But the ones who grow, who win, who succeed, they don't let these blocks stop them, and neither will you. Thanks so much for being here. If you love this episode, share it with a friend. If you hated this episode, share it with an enemy for sure. And don't forget, free training. Sign up with the link in the show notes. I think it's also NicoleBurnettCoaching.com/RLAP for Ride Like a Pro. And when you're ready to take it to the next level, send me a message at Nicole Burnett Mental Coach on Instagram so that we can give you the support you need to break through like all of my other clients.